Workers, thinkers, and artists like George Orwell and Ernest Hemingway, who saw Spain as the front line in a global battle. They came to fight and die against fascism, for a cause they believed was for all humanity. However, the war was, above all, a Spanish tragedy. It was a cruel war, fought not only in the trenches, but in the streets and in homes. In Republican areas, a wave of anti-church violence led to the killing of thousands of priests and nuns. On the nationalist side, the crackdown was constant and brutal. Republicans were shot by Franco's forces in the infamous Paseos, nighttime killings without trial in mass graves. Neighbors turned in neighbors, driven by fear, revenge, or strong beliefs. Fear was the law, and Spain bled in two colors, the red and black of the anarchists and communists, and the blue and white of the nationalists. It was a nation at war with itself, a dark preview of the world conflict that was about to happen. The worst violence of the Spanish Civil War left images that history will never be able to erase. The war was no longer just in the trenches. It fell from the sky. Air bombings, a brutal and new tactic, turned cities into burning, dusty hells, with the clear goal of terrifying the people. Under the rubble of broken homes lay the bodies of children, women, and the elderly. Entire villages, once full of life, were systematically burned, their people forced to run or die. The difference between a fighter and a civilian disappeared in the smoke. In the Republican zone, the social revolution exploded with a huge anti-church anger. For many, the Catholic Church was a symbol of old oppression, allied with the monarchy and big landowners. In the name of a new society, anarchist and communist groups led a wave of violence. Almost 7,000 church members were killed, many in brutal ways. Churches were robbed, their altars disrespected, and their buildings burned until only charred walls remained. It was a violent cleansing, an attempt to erase centuries of power with fire and blood. On the other side, in the nationalist zone, the terror was just as relentless, but more organized. Franco's crackdown, the White Terror, wasn't just too much. It was a policy of ideological cleansing. Thousands of peasants, union members, teachers, and intellectuals suspected of supporting the Republic were hunted down. The Paseos became a grim routine, people taken from their homes at night and executed without trial in mass graves. Franco's goal wasn't just to win, but to destroy anti-Spain and build his rule on the bodies of his opponents. In this situation, there was no safe place. The country was consumed by a suffocating fear, fueled by the fear of the fifth column, the hidden enemies. Every look could mean betrayal. Every word could cost a life. Neighbors turned in neighbors. Spain became a lab for collective hatred, but also a testing ground for the future.